So I'm delighted to be able to ask Maggie McGinlay to come up and talk about how Opportunity Northeast, who one of our partners, is helping us in that space. Thank you.
Microphone, that would be better. There, got the technology working, it's a good start. So anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Opportunity Northeast and what we're doing, and particularly part of what we want to do is very ambitious about building very strong digital ecosystem in the northeast of Scotland, and as Steve said, certainly help build more of a reputation and a profile around digital companies and digital transformation in the northeast of Scotland. And as part of a little bit of background to who we are, for those who don't know, Opportunity Northeast, we were established a couple of years ago. We're funded through the Wood Foundation, and we're very much about how we help make sure we've got a strong economy in the northeast of Scotland for future generations, about how we support the oil and gas industry, but also diversify the economy so we're making the most of future opportunities as well. And we're very fortunate to have a 10-year plan funded through the Wood Foundation to the tune of 60 million. And so the way that we do that is very much build on where we see the biggest opportunities are to help grow the economy. And luckily for us all here today, oil and gas and digital are two of those pillars. So that's a good coming together of all that. So in terms of how we work, we very much take what we call our sector approach, so being clear about where those industry sectors in the northeast, where we've got strengths already or where we see future strengths developing. And as you'd expect, oil and gas is very much central to this, so very much how we maximise economic recovery, but also importantly how we anchor the oil and gas supply chain here for the long term in the northeast of Scotland. And of course, digital transformation and ensuring the supply chain is very much part of that will be really important if we're going to achieve that. As well as oil and gas focus, we work with Visit Aberdeenshire on the tourism offer around business and leisure tourism. And of course, digital has got a huge role to play within that. Life sciences, probably less known in this region, but quite a burgeoning sector. We've got great strengths at the ARI, which is actually the largest largest health campus in Europe. So great, if you talk about data, there's massive data held there in terms of the Aberdeen Royal Infirmary. But they're building a life sciences hub, which will look at life sciences, biotherapeutics and medtech. And again, quite a lot happening there from a digital perspective. Food, drink and agriculture, again, part of our real strengths in the region, and I'll talk a little bit more about one particular project around cattle tracking that may be of interest there. But of course, what we're really here to talk about today is around digital and what we're doing to support the digital sector. And there's probably two things that will hopefully be of interest to you. One is how we are supporting companies who are digital product or solution companies. We're very much looking at how best we support the growth of those companies who are based in the region. And the second is for companies in any sector, so whether that's food, oil and gas, food and drink, or any of the others I've mentioned, what it takes for those companies to transform digitally, and also how that opens opportunities up for some of the digital companies based here in the northeast. So in terms of that focus on digital, it's about digital and entrepreneurship. It's about really understanding which companies we've got here already, what the demand is from the various industry sectors and how we match the demand with the companies that are here already, but also how we create new companies for the future as well. So part of our focus is very much on the creation and development of new early startup companies. And with those early startup companies, we're quite ambitious around that in terms of those early stage startup companies. We want to see at least 10 to 20 of those companies growing with a turnover of at least 20 million by 2023. Quite small numbers from an oil and gas perspective, but actually for an early stage startup company, less so. But it's how we can get what we've got in the northeast are very talented people working in the industry. And we've got some great digital companies here already, and probably people would be surprised if you're not in the sector, people wouldn't necessarily see this region as having a strong digital capability. But actually, when we started looking, we identified at least 90 companies who have got a quite strength in digital already, let alone some of the earlier stage startups that we're starting to see already. So we very much want to help develop early stage startup companies, those that are established already, but at the same time create the right environment so that we're helping those other sectors transform. So the OGTC rightly is very much focused on the oil and gas sector. We also want to look at what would it take to transform the food and drink industry in the region, the life sciences sector, the tourism sector, etc. And at the same time, hopefully open up opportunities for digital product companies in doing that. So just as an example of what we're actually going to do, we're targeting, as I said, about investing in that ecosystem. So making sure that there's a sense that this is a region where digital, good things happen around digital, that we're supporting the talent agenda, and that we're helping companies to be established here and to grow here. So we're going to be hooking up with one of the largest tech incubator companies in the UK, going to partner with them, and they will bring with them very much strong support in how we help companies scale up, bring access to experienced digital entrepreneurs, help with mentoring, help with access to investors, importantly help with access to customers, and also do that little bit of matchmaking around what our customers' demands versus what companies have we got here and how do we bring and match them together. We're also going to be establishing a physical tech hub in the city. That will be a real focal point for the digital community. Within that tech hub, we'll have companies who will be based there, who will be co-working and have grow-on space there. But it'll also be a real space for meetups, for maybe skills development stuff to happen there as well. So that will become an important part of that overall focal point. And we've done quite a lot of work to see what's worked elsewhere in Shoreditch and London, for example. Obviously, Edinburgh's got a very strong digital tech sector as well. So we'll be announcing that in the next few months as well. So really part of my purpose in being here today was, one, to just bring you up to speed with what we're doing around supporting the digital sector. Two, ask for your feedback. If you're a digital product or solution company and you're based in the North East, what sort of support is it that you're looking for from the likes of Opportunity North East? What are the barriers to your growth, and what sort of things will help you? It's often about money, but it's not always about money. And it can be often about connections, about access to customers, about access to investors, etc. So really we'd be keen to get your feedback on what would help you. And really, I suppose the other thing was to make you aware of what we're doing, but also depending, regardless of which stage of that supply chain that you're in, there are lots of different ways that Opportunity North East can help. And part of what we're also looking to do is, if a company is looking to go through a digital transformation process, what will it take to help them to do that? And what expertise do they need brought in? What support do they need to do that? So again, if that's fits with what you're thinking in your particular company, then it'd be worth speaking to us about that as well. So we're looking to invest $1 million per annum over the next 4 to 5 years around digital and entrepreneurship. So we've got real intent to make things happen here, to listen to what it is that you need as a company base, and then make sure that we're very much part of the journey that Steve talks about. But being here today is a really important part of that. But how can we help you and your individual companies be part of that journey? So very interested to hear your feedback and thoughts on that after this is finished. So please do get in touch. I'm happy to chat to people afterwards, or you can take a note of the details if you've got any thoughts on what else we can do to really make this sector grow in the way that we all want to see it happen. Thank you.